Hi everyone, this is audapostrophe. Let's continue our game of Raging Loop on Nintendo Switch.
Watashi, 邪魔じゃないかな。
いや、適当に話してないと気がめいるんで、相槌打ってくれるだけでも助かる。
The instructions that came with the repair kit told me that my bike's tires were a rather difficult type to repair. Apparently, I had to remove the tires, but where did I even start with that? Well, as long as I didn't break it, nothing I did could be worse than having to call roadside service down here, so I just tried taking it apart. But as I removed whatever nuts I could, I made the situation even worse than it was. Yeah, this really wasn't a job for an amateur.
お兄さん、大変そうね。ちえみちゃんもよかったら食べてね。
ありがとうございます。
なんか大元になってんな。機械つうのはやっぱダメだな。
まあ、壊れさえしなきゃ文明の利器は便利だけどね。
日暮れまでに治りそうかい？
厳しいかも。最悪なんとかするから安心して、ばあちゃん。
I really appreciate how she handled the visitors in my stead.
なあ、知恵ね。バイクって免許簡単に取れんの？
どうだろう。原付なら簡単よ。私も持ってるし。
中型大型の二輪は結構めんどいよ。普通免許取るのと同じ学科講習もあるし。バイク好きなのかい？
ああ、関係ねえだろ。ちなみにそれいくらすんだよ。
これは新車で80万くらいかな。
たっけはたっけバカ、どうやって貯めんだよ。
まあバイトとか頑張ったから。
そんな新車が事故ってなんて、春脇さん気の毒。
ちえみ先生、さっきから気にはなってたんだけど、差し入れ僕の分は？
先生思わず全部食べちゃった。春脇さん気の毒。
I didn't want sympathy from the one responsible. As I told her off for not leaving me any food, I somehow removed the tires. I could only hope I'd be able to fix this up. I'd had this thing less than a month, but the trouble it was putting me through made it feel somewhat dear to me. That's a weird-ass sentence. I wanted to fire it up again and make it go as fast as I could. Suddenly, I heard an engine. It felt like it was mocking me. Hold on, an engine? Here? I stopped working and turned around to see an unfamiliar van drive into the plaza. Bearing the classic-looking piece of junk in Masato's garage, this was the first time I'd seen a car here. As far as I knew, no one living here actually owned a running car, so...
さっき言った記者さんたちだね。
I knew it. Once the van stopped, a lady stepped out of it.
こんにちは。
Oh, she's pretty.
どうも。
今日もご迷惑をおかけします。これまで見ないお方ね。
どうも。自己春秋です。
そこまで自虐的になんなくても。
Crap, that was no time for an inside joke. I quickly introduced myself properly.
ちょっとその辺で事故りましてね。ここに寄せてもらってます。
なるほど、学生さんね。事故は災難だったわね。ちなみに私はこういうものです。
The woman gave me her business card. Hisako Mamiya, a freelance writer. Her pen name was Kyoko Hosei.
ちなみに読んだことない？宝生9個の記事。
Hosho.
すみません。
だよね。まだまだマイナーだし、そもそも記事載った雑誌、主婦向けとシニア向けだし。
それは難易度高いな。ちなみに何を書いておられるんです？
フードレビュー、変わった食品専門のね。
あれですか？世界で一番臭い缶詰とか、そういう。
そうそう。まあシュールなんて今さらネタになんないから、国内に絞ってマイナーな珍味を探し歩いてるわけ。そんなわけで、郷里に変わった料理があるとか情報があったらぜひちょうだい。日本全国どこでも行くから。
ラボの後輩がキャンパス内で取ったキノコで豚汁作ったら集団幻覚が起きまして。
思いつきと毒物は却下ね。
As we chatted, I became curious.
そういえば取材の方はお二人とか。
ええ、もう一人いるわ。ちょっと降りてくるのに時間が。あ、来た来た。
I looked at the van and became completely awestruck. It felt like the van had shed its skin or something. That made no sense, but seriously, how did this fit in there? He was gargantuan. Takumi-san was something, but this man was on the level of a foreign heavyweight wrestler. Though, unlike Takumi-san, this man was primarily fat, rather than muscle. As he walked out of the driver's seat, the van shook wildly.
写真家の橋本雄大さんよ。こちらは私よりもっとずっと有名。オールラウンドでご活躍中で、写真はきっと気づかないうちに何枚か目にしてるはずよ。
I didn't know much about photography, but I was definitely convinced. There was a certain kind of authority or gravity around him. He wasn't saying a word, and I couldn't tell what he was thinking.
どうもはじめまして。Fusaishi Haruaki です。
Was he even alive?
どうも。
After a strange pause, he slowly bowed like the moving mountain he was, and greeted me with a voice like a titan. He seemed somewhat difficult to interact with.
今日で最終日でしたっけ？ええ、オリレさんが秘蔵の獅子慣れを開けてくださるってことなので。
よその人に耐えられるかな。
まあ胃薬も持ってきてるから大丈夫でしょ。
And so, Mamiyashi and Hashimotoshi walked off to the dining hall. Who would have thought that such a beauty was a delicacy hunter? I had to admit, that gap was kind of charming. As intrigued as I was, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to fix my bike already. Ugh. A lot of things had surprised me here in Yasumizu, but nothing as much as this.
もしもし？
No reaction. At first glance, he looked like a poor man too senile to think and perceive properly.
何かご用ですか？
I made sure to speak as clearly as possible. It didn't look like he understood. I figured it was best just to ignore him and resume the repairs, but... I looked at him again. He was still just standing there like his soul and brain had left his body. A vacant stare, yellowed eyes, half-open mouth covered in saliva. He spoke again.
何が来るんです？
What? His voice was too hoarse to make out.
何ですって？
I placed my hand against my ear. He finally understood what I wanted and prepared to whisper something. He brought my ear closer and...
狼が来るぞー。
Hmm? The sudden shout caught me completely off guard and made me fall to the ground. He looked down at me, laughing. He clapped and opened his half-toothless mouth into a wide smile.
狼が来るぞー。狼が来るぞー。
He bent his body in a weird way, laughing like he was convulsing, turned around, and just left.
春秋さん。遅かったか。
Chimi had joined the journalists and only just came back.
何が遅かったと？
おじいちゃん、知らない人にはああやっていたずらするんだよ。
あれちえみちゃんの？
いやいや、本名は知らないんだ。昔から休みずにいるおじいちゃんだけど、昔からあんな感じ。
ボケてるというか、ちょっとおかしいのか、あの人。
うん、みんな狼じじいって呼んでるけどね。
Named after the boy who cried wolf, I assume. Doesn't work as well, though.
狼ねえ。
As far as I knew, there were no wild wolves in Japan. There used to be, but after the last sighting in either the Meiji or Showa era, they've been considered extinct here. Modern Japan's image of wolves came from Western fairy tales and the like. It wasn't linked to anything in our culture or life. Even the boy who cried wolf was a Western tale. Did his brand of insanity make him repeat the tale or something? A bit weirded out by the circumstances, I went back to repairing my bike. After a bit more time, I somehow took off the rubber from the tires and removed the tubes. Both tires were pierced by some really nasty nails. Fuck, this kind of stuff only happened at the worst of times. Then I applied the patches and filled them with air using a manual pump. I wet the tubes. There were no bubbles, meaning no air was leaving them. Things were looking good. After the high schooler came back from school and passed by, no one else stopped to talk. Chimi was looking a bit bored now.
なんとかなりそうかも。
え、嘘。あんなにダメっぽかったのに。
悪かったね。まあこれを組み立て直すって大仕事が残ってるけど。
それが終わったら出発できそう？
そうだね。長居するとまずそうなのはよくわかったし。
そう、よかった。
She didn't seem to care that much. I guess I had no choice with her, huh? Or I guess I had no chance with her, huh?
もう何時間も缶を詰めっぱなしでしょ？大丈夫？疲れてない？
昼食休憩の機会が誰かさんに奪われたこともあってね。
代わりにクラッカーをあげたじゃないですか。
Like that was enough to sate a guy in his mid-20s.
まあ僕は大丈夫。もう一頑張りする。君ももう行っていいよ。大体の人とは顔合わせしたような気がするし。
多分あと2人会ってない人がいるかな。
Really? Well, there was no real need to, right?
もうちょっといるよ。どうせ暇だから帰ってきたわけだし、することもないし。
52人の男友達と遊ぶ選択肢はなかったの？
前言撤回。暇したいから帰ってきたの。町暮らしは面倒も多くて、52人からのメール攻めとかさ。
そっか。
ごめん、52人は嘘。
なんでそんな嘘を？
春秋さんに対する牽制？
Why would she pull a tactic like that only to reveal her hand?
ねえ、彼女に振られたって本当？
And now she asked me that.
本当だって。
そっか。
Well, after that relentless assault, it wouldn't be fair unless I played my own card.
なんならこれ乗っていく？
え、これって2人乗りなんだ。
もちろん。一応タンデム用のヘルメットも吊るしてきてるし、まだ乾いてないけど。僕はこのままここを出ていくから、その便でちえみちゃんも外に出るのが都合良ければってことになるけど。ついでにロングツーリングしてみる？時間さえあればどこへだって行くよ。
Flexible, open to fine-tuning, wild and charming. This was a good date invitation, if I said so myself.
いいね、素敵。都合問題ないよ。
Oh?
じゃあ荷物まとめてくるね。
Chimi smiled and turned around to head to her place. She then looked back at me and...
急いだ方がいいよ。ちえみさんの気が変わらないうちにね。
はいはい、もちろん。
Well, that made me motivated. This was one long trip, but at least I met someone good along the way. I'd just forget everything I didn't want to remember while on the road with her. I could only hope that clever girl and I would eventually grow closer. With that ulterior motive in mind, I resumed rebuilding the bike. After several failed attempts, I was finally making some good progress putting the bike back together. Afternoon had passed, and it was almost evening. At the rate I was going, I'd definitely be working while it was dark. Would that even be possible? It may be way past midnight by the time I was done. Jamie might dump me for that. Man, life sure was hard. The plaza I'd worked in was now totally empty. There was no one around me. All I could hear was the wind, the frogs, and the tools in my hands. It was desolate, to say the least. I suddenly felt really weak. It made me keenly aware of being in a place I didn't belong, and that I was preparing to escape. It was an oppressive atmosphere, like the bars of a cage were slowly swinging shut. What's this, Haruaki? You think you're going to get attacked or something? I tried to laugh it off, but it didn't work. As I became more conscious of my surroundings, I began to hear things I hadn't noticed before. I heard a voice. Someone was singing. It was an inarticulate little girl's voice. I stopped my work. Before I knew it, I'd put my tools down and gone looking for the source. Was I that starved for human presence? Or did the malaise make me feel like I was in danger? I walked down the hill to where the song came from, passing the tall grass. I arrived. It was a strange sight. The field was covered in tall grass. There were countless rocks peeking out of it. Unlike the boulders all over Yasumizu, these were only up to my waist. They looked like gravestones. The field extended into the dusty western sky before ending it at a cliff. This was the lowest spot in Yasumizu, the border to Sarunaga. There was a large pine right at the edge. The evening suns, the stones, and the pine's shadow gave the field a strange aura. A little girl was running through it. Her steps were awkward. At this moment, the space was alien. I felt like I was looking at a Giorgio de Chirico painting. The place felt like it didn't belong in this world. Suddenly, I came to understand that this place was special. It was a sacred, mystical ground where no outsiders were welcome. The girl fell.
大丈夫?
I run to, with no hesitation, the little girl. Help up. Oh, wait a minute. Help up, half-crying little girl in muddy clothes, new grays on band-aid covered kneecap. Help up, yes? I console little girl, pushed away, run, someone. Appears, girl, saw once, me.
夕霧立てば宴の支度
Okay. Girl, weave. Incomprehensible phrase. Hide behind little girl. Fear and hostility. Eyes.
逃げて
Girl, hug. Little girl. Warn. Me?
間に合わないでも逃げて
Me. Girl. Behind. Me. Girl. Behind. Mist. Mist, mist. Me. Girl behind mist. Mist, mist. Mist, 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 mist. Me. Turn around. Run. Where? In a daze, I came back to the plaza. Suddenly, Chimey shook me, bringing me back to my senses.
どこ行ってたの
ごめん。すぐ作業に戻るから。
何言ってるのもうダメ間に合わない春秋さんも隠れて
I couldn't understand what she was getting at.
何やってんだチーミー とっとと部屋に戻れ。
でも春秋さんが。
ほっとけ、そんなよそ者。俺はおやっさんと他の連中んち回るから絶対戻れよ、チエミ。
I couldn't understand. What were these two doing? What scared them so much? It didn't take long for me to find out. I looked down the hill. From Saranaga, beyond the field I'd just been in, came a rising haze. It was so dense you could easily call it mist. It moved strangely, like a living creature as it flowed into the plaza.
春秋さん、こっち。
Jamie pulled me by the hand.
何がなんだか頭がなんだ頭が重いな。
今は我慢して。どこか鍵のかかるところに一人で入るの。出ないと死んじゃう。
どういうことなの？理由を。
お願い、春秋さん。今だけは言うことを聞いて。
Albeit hesitantly, I did as she said. We ran up the hill and crossed the rice field path until we made it to a simple outhouse.
ここならなんとか。
本当、何事なんだ？確かにすごい霧だけど、そんな慌てることじゃ。
いい？春秋さん。詳しく説明してる時間はない。だから、お願いだから、今から言うことを絶対に守って。今から一晩、ここに入って、鍵をかけて、絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
My mind was pretty clear by this point, so much so that I began to wonder why it was clouded until now. Because of that, I could easily understand exactly what Chaimi just said, despite how weird it was. I could also see she was really desperate. I need to hide, I guess.
またとんでもない指示が来たもんだ。
春秋さん。
言っとくけど相当な無茶ぶりだからね。ノルマクリアの暁には相当な見返りと説明を要求するから。
うん、いいよ。全部話す。だから今晩を生き延びて。
The words, the teary smile, none of it looked fake.
じゃあね。君も急ぐんでしょ？
うん。それじゃ、
何？
明日言うから。
Leaving me one hell of a homework assignment, Chaimi ran off. The plaza was covered in the mist by now. I could see it rising to take over the fields, too. Anyway, a promise was a promise. 10 minutes later, I began to wonder what I was doing. Was I really supposed to spend the night in here? This outhouse wasn't like a prefab you'd find in a construction site. It was just a shack built by hand. It merely happened to have a toilet unit installed. It was Japanese style, so I couldn't even sit down. All I could do was stand. Another problem. It was the type of toilet that periodically had to be pumped empty, so the smell was really bad. Sure, there was a cover on the toilet unit, but without any kind of air freshener anywhere, the smell of ammonia could only do so much. The only good thing about being here was that, if I had to go to the toilet, well, mission complete. But what of it? Again, was I really supposed to spend the night here? The question quickly made me realize how stupid this was, and I began making assumptions to make this easier for myself. Was I being pranked? Or was everyone here just crazy? Hell, the mist had already filled the surroundings, and there was no way that this shabby outhouse protected me from it. The air here already felt misty and damp. The temperature here was low, so I could still bear it somewhat, but staying here all night would make me all wet. Again, I wasn't safe from the mist here. That considered, I'd probably be better off sleeping in the grass outside than staying here. The reasonable part of my mind urged me to stop playing along with these hicks. However,
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。 いいよ。全部話す。だから、今晩を生き延びて。
My sense of duty made it hard for me to break the promise I'd made to her. Actually, that wasn't quite true. I was more intrigued by the prospect of learning more about this place. Anyway, I took the time to compile what I found out today. This was the Yasumizu settlement, a special part of Fujiyoshi. It was situated right next to the Sadanaga Rapids. People living here were Chaimi Senorizawa, Yasuna Oribe, his family, Kiori Oribe and Yoshitsugu Oribe, Chikamochi Kamoshida, Haro Makishima, her granddad, Kanzo Makishima, Tai Yamawaki, Takama Muro, Kyosuke Nasato. It seemed like he was from Kamafujiyoshi, the place on the other side of the mountain, but for some reason he lived here now. And finally the old man who cried wolf. Those were the 11 people I'd met, and Chaimi said that I had 2 more left. That could only mean that the 2 I'd met by that pine were the ones. A little girl. She was probably the child that strayed into Sadanaga yesterday morning. And then there was the fantastic-looking, white-haired woman clad in strange clothing. She was probably the one I'd seen in the morning. The fact I'd seen her twice made it likely she was indeed real, but with how mysterious this place was, I couldn't rule out the possibility that she was an illusion. According to Chaimi, the little girl was being looked after by someone in the village, so I could only assume that that white-haired woman was the one. If I counted the little girl, it would mean that Yasumizu had 13 inhabitants. And then there were the 2 journalists, Hisako Amamiya and Yudai Hashimoto. Add me to that, and you had a total of 3 outsiders, but I'd put that aside for now. Anyway, time for an assessment. Yesterday morning, a little girl strayed into Sadanaga. To make it worse, no one, not even herself, knew anything about her. She instantly got branded as an ill omen. The next day, Chaimi, who was in Sadanaga for some reason, found me there. They recognized me as a proper lost person, but since I came through Sadanaga, I was also branded an ill omen. For what Kiyonosuke Nasato, she said, it was safe to assume that it used to be customary to throw people like us into Sadanaga. Then there was the mist. The girl said something mysterious. Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. I can only assume it was related to the same superstitions. After all, the mist came from Sadanaga itself. It and the river seemed to be central to the local customs and ideas. With that in mind, how was it dangerous? What was going to happen now? Yomibitu, as in people from Yomi, the ancient Japanese land of the dead? Dead people come back through Sadanaga, and they were corrupted. Well, that gave me room for some wild ideas. Was there some sort of pathogen in Sadanaga that rose up with the mist? Did it turn people into zombies? Was I about to be part of a Japanese Resident Evil? Wait, that was already Japanese. What if you had a 10% chance to be infected by the mist, but a 100% chance to be infected by another person? That explained why everyone had to isolate themselves like this. If I became a zombie, I probably wouldn't have the mind to unlock the door. So basically, by locking myself in here, I was quarantining myself. I hadn't put all that much thought into it, but that seemed like a good story. Sure, stuff like the boulders and the wolves didn't fit anywhere into my idea, but it was still interesting. Then again, I knew this was Hicksville and all, but would a superstition that science could explain so easily really survive the modern world? It seems so weird.
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
Don't make a sound. To be frank, the reason why I spent so much time on these delusions was because I was scared of things I didn't know or understand. In the past, people used to attribute stuff like natural phenomena and diseases to gods, devils, yokai, and then do nothing but fear them. They were scared of these manifestations of monsters and whatnot, but on the other hand, it was better than not seeing or not knowing what they really were. The fact that you could die to things you couldn't see or understand made life really unreasonable and unfair. That was why it was very logical to give things names and mental images in order to recognize and memorize them. My fear of things I didn't know was the same, except I wasn't satisfied with just labels or hypotheses. I needed to reach the truth. That aside, what I was feeling right now wasn't a fear of the unknown. It was a realistic, practical fear of something that could endanger my life.
今から一晩ここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
That meant that outside lurked something dangerous that could hear sounds. Perhaps it was the so-called dead that rose up from the river. Or maybe, assuming I was right with my Saranaga sickness theory, it was people who came out and beat the shit out of all the diseased who didn't follow the rules. The wolf is coming. Maybe the wolf was the title given to the killer. Suddenly, I heard a scream in the distance. Let's go out and take a look. Wow. That was some timing. Right as I was about to form a new hypothesis. The proof connecting it all suddenly came to me, and it was right outside. It had gotten really dark. There were no lights anywhere. The darkness was fear. Unperceived, unknown, dangerous, scary. Leaving this place was dangerous. Dangerous. Scary, 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 scary. Scary things were scary no matter how much logic you applied. But I couldn't discard my desire to get to know the fear and conquer it. I opened the door and stopped in place. Night was in absolute darkness. No matter how dark or cloudy it was, the sky always gave some bit of light to us. However, I came to understand that it could be hard to see even if there was light. Everything I saw was covered by a dense mist. Combined with the pale moonlight, it made the area seem milky. It made it hard to get around. Regardless, I couldn't ignore the scream. There was something beyond this veil. I kept moving forward. Unless my ears were deceiving me, the scream belonged to a woman and had come from the right. I couldn't let myself think that. Or rather, I didn't want to think that. The unknown was scary. Personally, I found that the principle made my life really easy. I had more than enough fear from those which were directly threatening my life. I really didn't want to have the fear of losing someone as well. Change your line of thought, Haruaki. Solving the mystery might save someone. 2 birds with 1 stone. I began walking faster. Another scream. It was close. I realized I had to find a way to protect myself. I was unarmed, so I looked around for anything I could use as a weapon. I felt around to see if there were any branches or anything. Sadly, all I felt was grass. I went deeper and searched the ground itself. Soon I felt something hard. It was a rock. A moment digging later, I took it in hand. It was a bit smaller than my hand. I almost teared up at how useless it seemed, but it was better than nothing. I looked at the base of my feet and saw the grassy ground. I could easily move forward if I first checked the ground using my feet. And since I might have been close to the danger, I had to focus on what was ahead too. I'd recognize the danger and, if possible, get rid of it. I concentrated entirely on that and stepped forward. I couldn't hear the screams anymore. But I could hear other things. A wet sound. And the sound of something cracking. It filled my mind with countless things I didn't want to imagine. Even so, I kept walking forward. Forward. Until I saw it. Oh. My hypothesis were nothing but delusions. The truth was truly something you had to see yourself. But why? Why was this so scary in spite of being true? It wasn't supposed to exist. It couldn't exist. After all, it was a wolf with a humanoid body. And there's no such things as werewolves. The next morning, in a paddy field in Fujiyoshi Yasumizu, 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. The clothes nearby led the discoverers to conclude that it was the traveler, Haruaki Fusaishi.
まだ動いてんぞ。
Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment.
読み人じゃ泣きにせえ
And so I
さよなら、春明さん。
was finished off by the girl.
宴が始まりました。
The last thing I heard
狼をくぐる。
was that. Rising Loop, unveiled arrival. Oh, it's about werewolves, huh? Okay, interesting. Obtained key to Werewolf and Resurrection. You can view it in the key list. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number on the scenario chart. Bad ending. Number 2. Watch hit corner? Yeah, sure. I don't know what that means.
よ、やっちまったな、大将。俺のことは、まあ気にすんな。取るに足らねえインターフェース的なキャラクターさ。羊とでも呼べよ。ここは夢と夢の狭間。臭いし春秋とかいう野郎には見えねえから、まあ安心してくつろぎな。つっても、あんま長っちりはできねえかな。俺は忙しいんだ。ちゃっちゃと進めんぞ。ヒントコーナーにふさわしく、大将が困らねえように、ありがてえ助言をいくつかくれてやるぜ。まず、ゲーム的なあれこれを最初に言っておこう。さっき、やっちまったと言ったが、実は大将が最初にここに来んのは確定事項だ。つうのも、選べる選択肢は一つしかなかったろ。その下はなんか、鍵マークみてえなのが出て、選べなかったはずだ。おっと、だからって、最初の芹沢千恵美とのうすらバカ問答を選び直しても無意味だぜ。どれを選んでも分岐はしねえ。チュートリアルでも一応解説したが、念のため、レイジングループの仕組みをおさらいしとくか。大将がさっき実際に食らった通り、レイジングループでは必ず死ぬ。なぜか。多くの選択肢はロックされていて、それを開くためには対応するキーが必要だからさ。キーはシナリオ中に散らばってる。手に入るときはだいたい命と引き換えさ。だから死は不可避ってわけだ。どうやら臭いし春秋の野郎は死んでも記憶を次に持ち越せるらしいな。それを再現したシステムってわけだ。つうわけで、羊さんから大将への最初のアドバイスだ。行き詰まったら死んでみろ。数あるバッドエンドの中には、キーが手に入るものも多い。意外な結末からキーが手に入ることもあるだろうさ。もちろん全部のバッドエンドを見なくても必要なキーを集めて最短クリアすることは可能だ。遊び方は任せるぜ。で、今回のバッドエンド2、題して、ベンジョマンの最後についてだが、回避するにはキー2が必要だ。だが、次はもう問題ねえ。気づいてるか？ここで死んだ時すでに、大将はキー2を入手してる。キー2の内容は、メニューの中にキーってボタンがあるから、そこで見てくれりゃいいんだが、要は、夜出歩いたら死ぬってことを、臭いし春秋は身をもって知ったわけだ。だからこそ、新しい選択が可能になった。この手の一度つまずく系の死亡エンドは、今後も何回かあっから、そこんとこは承知しといてくれな。一方、キーを手に入れるのがずっと先になることもある。キーが手に入るときは赤文字ででっかく表示されるから、今後も要注目だぜ。この後だが、臭いし春秋は振り出しに戻る。つまりゲームの冒頭、バイクで迷ってるシーンだな。最初から読み直してもいいが、今後何十回も死ぬことになるから、その度に読み直してたら大変だ。だから、ある程度状況を把握したら、 シナリオチャートを使ってひょいっとジャンプしちゃってくれ。大将が一度読み切ったシーンなら、いつでもどこでもどこからでもジャンプが可能だ。便利なもんだぜ、こいつはよ。例えば今この瞬間でも、画面に出てるチャートボタンを押し、ノーム、ないの、9、悲鳴を追うかに飛んで OK だ。シナリオチャートからのジャンプをガンガン活用するのがレイジングループ攻略のコツかもな。ちなみにここまでで2、ノームは終了。いわば小手調べ、導入が終わったってわけだ。今回解放された選択肢を選べば、いよいよ最初のメインルート、3、読みが始まる。頑張れよ。次にロックされた選択肢が出てきたら、右端の方を見てみな。開くために必要なキーの番号があるはずだ。番号はシナリオチャートにも表示される。どこがロックされてるのか、何番のキーがいるか一目瞭然だ。親切設計だろ。ちなみに、こっそり教えてやるけど、1が手に入るのはすっげー先だ。取りこぼしとかじゃねえから安心して、サクサク次に進んでやってくれ。かー、ずいぶん長くなっちまった。俺は忙しいってのによ。つうわけで、今回はここまで。次も元気に死んでこい。そういう夢だったってわけだ。次はもっとうまくやれ。羊が1匹、羊が2匹。
I closed in on the side of the road and killed the engine. Here, let's save here. And why don't we stop it there for now? This is audap. You've been watching Raging Loop on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.